still the tallest. I'm still the widest. I'm still the biggest out there.
What's up, guys, and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So shout out to Ron Harris for getting Andrew Jacked on board for this interview. So this is the very first time Andrew talked about this past Miss Olympia and the blessings that he got. And one thing that really stood out, that is gonna shape Andrew's career moving forward, is right here.
So I don't think any more size game is what I'm looking at now. Now it's just density, hardness, and just more like dryness.
No more playing the size game. And if it really was Chris's call to bring Andrew Jacked, really full and big as a house, at this past Miss Olympia, then I have got to say that was a wrong call, and he kind of paid the price. So still top 5 in the world. That is still great, no doubt. But here is the fact. All of us, including Andrew Jacked, we were hoping to see something really special from both Andrew and Samson. So Samson did deliver, but that wasn't the case with Andrew, because some people were thinking that these guys might be number 1 and number 2. Now I 100% think that the Texas Pro version of Andrew that could have compared amazingly well with all these guys who beat him at this year's Miss Olympia. The problem with this package, the one that we saw at the Olympia, was that he did not even win those shots, which were really strong for him, like the front double biceps, the front lat spread, the abs and thigh, the ones in which we all expected that he is gonna absolutely demolish everyone. And the reason was very simple. He just wasn't as sharp and as dry on Friday at the prejudging and as crispy as he was in Texas. So Tyler Mannion also pointed this out in that breakdown video, that even his abs and thigh shot, that wasn't as impressive as it should have been on Andrew, simply because he was missing a whole lot of detail.
The ab and thigh, but he was even lacking the detail and the separation that he normally has through his abs and midsection, which is a big strength for him.
So Samson Dauda definitely has size over Andrew. His side shots are way better and way more complete. But I have got to say, if Andrew is on, he will win some shots against Samson, like the front double, like the abs and thigh, like the front lat spread, and some other shots will also be really close. So as we head into this upcoming Arnold, the Samson versus Andrew, that is gonna be the biggest storyline of that show. And we expect to see a good fight for the top spot between both these guys. So those final words from Tyler for Andrew, I have to say they are gold. That Andrew, with the current size that he has, if he is able to get a little better than Texas Pro in terms of conditioning, he is gonna be dangerous to everyone, including Samson.
The day that he dials everything in, even just the conditioning, he is still a very big danger to every single person that placed above him at this show.
Next up, we have the mutant Nick Walker. So this statement right here solidifies that Nick Walker pulling out of this year's Olympia, that had nothing to do with his health, because he specifically emphasized that he is 100% healthy.
There's obviously things I need to handle, not health-wise. My health is perfectly fine. I'm just going to make that clear now.
So him not being ready for this past Miss Olympia, that might be the one and only reason he pulled out of this show. And I have got to say, him and his team, they really tried to be 100% honest about this. But still, there is no denying this fact, that it just backfired. And I do not think Nick Walker ever received this much criticism, this much hate before. But that being said, what's done is done. So what's next for Nick? Whatever show Nick is gonna do, that is gonna be a big one. So do not be surprised if he enters this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, because this will be the very first time Pittsburgh Pro will have a men's open bodybuilding class. And that has always been a major bodybuilding weekend, because all the big names, including the reigning Miss Olympia, they show up there for the guest posing. Plus, there is gonna be a huge prize money of $100,000.
And I can guarantee you my next show, you know what, I don't want to guarantee nothing. I'm going to say my next show, I'll make sure it's a good one.
And that makes Pittsburgh the 4th biggest show of the year in terms of prize money after the Olympia, Arnold, and Dubai Pro in order. So it is good to see Nick Walker still dieting, still staying very regimented, still maintaining a good amount of size, but not as regimented as he was during the Olympia prep. And this break, that will definitely help him come back stronger, especially mentally, as he heads into 2025.
I know you like this setup and it's great, but you like took a bit too much time here. And when you're in it, it's so outrageous. I'm like, get in it early, because the longer you're in it, the better.
So I do not think Ben Chow as a coach, he gets enough credit, bringing Hunter Labrada in the best shape of his life at this past Miss Olympia, especially on Friday, the prejudging, where he was clearly beating Andrew Jacked. So watching Ben giving even the slightest possible feedback to give him the edge, as Hunter was going through rounds and rounds of posing, that is so valuable. So the team wasn't able to achieve what they initially thought they would, because top 5 was their goal. But there is no denying the fact that Hunter really showcased his humongous size. This was his biggest package ever, and you can see that when he was standing right next to Hadi Choopan, and he looked so good. And that was a big statement by Hunter. That being said, I do feel like he needs to do something about his abs, because he just gets exposed, not only in the abs and thigh, but the other front shorts as well, such as the front double biceps and the front lat spread. So a whole lot of focus of Hunter, that is gonna be on developing a more separated and a more detailed set of abs going into this upcoming season, where he is most probably gonna do this upcoming Arnold, and I sincerely hope that he does. So Blessing Avudibu is out there on a serious mission to come back as a strong force sometime next year. So he is in that weight category at the moment where only Samson Dauda, Andrew Jacked, or Big Ramy go, especially in the off-season. He is above 320 pounds, and he is moving weights, which he hasn't moved before. So it has been more than 1 year since we saw Blessing on the stage. So his last show, that I believe was Flex Pro Italy last year, where the outcome of that show, that just wasn't what Blessing was hoping for. He was expecting to win that show against guys like Regan Grimes and Nathan Diazia, but he ended up outside of even top 4, which immediately led him to make this decision that he should go for a long off season and not think about getting back on the stage, unless he makes some major improvements, especially in his lower half. So it is so crazy that Blessing was beating Samson Dauda up until 2017, when they were both chasing that pro card. And the times have changed so much, especially in the last few years. So still 2 more months left, where Blessing can take the maximum benefit from this growth phase. So New York Pro is gonna be a great show to return, as Blessing is a former New York Pro champion. Or maybe he can do this upcoming Arnold as well. Andrea Presti turned out to be one of the most unlucky bodybuilders of 2024. First he got sick, so close to this year's Emperor Classic Spain, so he had to drop out of that show. And then later in the year, just before this year's Miss Olympia, he got second place in 3 shows back to back. So the European Pro, that was the hardest pill to swallow, because he was winning after the prejudging against Bruno Santos, and he lost in the finals. So the thing to appreciate the most about Andrea Presti is how consistent he is when it comes to nailing his peak, nailing his conditioning every single time he steps on stage. Now I know he has his flaws. His quads for sure need to come up big time. But some of these guys who beat him in 2024, they should be really thankful that he isn't as good in the lower half as he is from the waist up, because we all know the man has unbelievable size, and he could have won as many shows as he wanted to if he had bare legs, if his legs were just as good as his upper half. Now I do not think he plans on doing any show in this post-Olympia tour, which I think is gonna be a big mistake. So there is a show in December, the last show of the year, and that is a great opportunity for Presti to go and get his Olympia qualification for next year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.